Hello there, survivors, and welcome back to ARK Survival Ascended. Today, I've built something quite different from my usual builds. I decided to go with the pirate theme and build a shipwrecked pirate base. So the main part of the base is supposed to be a ship that's turned upside down. It will also serve as your dino pen because creatures will be able to enter. You have a decent amount of space in there. And then there's all sorts of buildings being built on top of this structure to make it look more cool. So we have a crafting and storage room to the side. We have some little homes all the way around for a really fun base. And I've added, of course, some decorations around. Now, mostly you just need the frontier skin to make this work. I did add some additional decor with some other mods like JVH landscaping for the plants to get that overgrown feeling, as well as the Legion ships mod to add some of the extra sails and stuff. But I did build one of the masts myself just using pillars, so you can definitely get the crow nest in there even if you are unofficial. Now, as always, if you like what you see and want to see more, make sure you like the video, subscribe to my channel, of course, and leave your suggestions for future builds down in the comments below. But also let me know, do you want to see a full step-by-step tutorial for this build? You can, of course, build a base like this pretty much anywhere where you want. I built it on top of pillars, so yeah, wherever you want, you could start placing it. Probably makes most sense to build it either on the beach or in a cool cove. I mean, there is a pretty cool cove here on the trails that I could have chose for it, but I really wanted to make sure that it was in the proper light of this little island. This island specifically is quite far on the edge of the map, but it does hold a really cool spot. I built it over a little bay so that the underneath is actually over the water, which means that I can kind of also use it for a little breeding pen for my water creatures, especially if I place down some extra gates maybe to keep them safe, or of course just add some turrets. So here we are, my pirate base shipwreck that I think turned out pretty nice, especially with the contrast of the frontier skins, which are a little bit darker, and then the normal wood all the way around. And yeah, of course, the greenery helps. The extra masts and sails definitely help getting the vibe across a little bit easier, but even without them, just with the one crow's nest here that I built myself, I think it still looks pretty cool and it still gets the job done. But yeah, the additional details, of course, help very much, but also just placing the cannons that are in the game, of course, give that pirate feel already. But yeah, the Legion ships mod, which I think is meant to be used to actually build proper ships. I've added some more of the details around to make like a shipwreck bay cove kind of feel, but I didn't want to utilize these in my design too much because, well, that's quite different as what you can do without having any of such mods. But yeah, I do think the overall vibe is quite cool. It is a little bit tricky in ARK to make a nice looking ship hull, but I found that this was the best I could do. I also have no clue why I decided for my first kind of ship slash pirate themed build to go with an upside down ship. I think that made it even more difficult for me, but I do really like the way this turned out. So yeah, we have the main ship hull, which is also a dino pen. Then we have some smaller additions like this little hut in top of the gate, and then we have this little building to the side, which is kind of a second ship hull, I suppose, but then turned upside down and built onto the side, and only like a section of it, which I quite like the way that turned out. And then, of course, got some platforms on top with a nice little cabin over here that has some nice curves to it and some nice balconies around it. And then we have another little cabin back there as well, just to give you some extra room. So I definitely think this would be a base that would work really well if you're a tribe with multiple people, so everyone could have their own little home as well. And of course, the shared dino and crafting and storage space down below in the main part of the base. But yeah, quite happy with the way this one looks. So let's take a little bit of a closer look around, because I tried to add a nice bit of detail. Now, some of this is from the Legion ships mod, like these sacks and these extra barrels and stuff, but yeah, most of it is just the normal stuff that you will find in the game. And of course, I mean, just normal deco boxes you could also use for things like this, or just the normal barrels and treasure chest, of course, fit the theme quite well. But yeah, this is the entrance to the crafting zone, basically, or at least a little bit of the storage is over here. As you can see, we've got some storage there, some more storage here, smithing table here, and we have a lovely little balcony here to enjoy your views of the ocean or whatever you decided to look out over as your base location. And then we got the staircase up here. I didn't really utilize this space. I guess I should have done something with this. Kind of forgot. Maybe a toilet, something like that. And then we have a little kitchen area here, some fridges, nice little table with lots to drink, of course, and then the cooker and the grill here too. So yeah, you have everything that you need in this. Then we're gonna go back outside for now and take a good look at what it looks like if you're just walking down here. Quite like the look of it. This, by the way, is the smithy for the Legion ship mod, which is a really cool crafting station, I will say. Looks very, very cool. It also adds the big anchor there, which is quite cool as a little detail. But yeah, I do like all the layers of this build. I think that definitely adds to like the shipwreck feel. But here we can enter the Dino pen, and as you can see, Rex easily fits inside. You might actually be able to fit like a Giga in the middle, but maybe it will get a little bit crowded. Ryaneth has sparked up here. And then we got some of the usual things here. We have some crafting fridges. We've got the air conditioning. Lots of cannons, of course, taking up all the space. But that adds to the pirate feel. Got the feeding trough, cryo fridges, some storage around. Some hay from the Western Deco mod. I was like adding a little bit of that. Then more of these boxes and stuff. We've got the crafting area over here. So we have some extra storage here and there. We got all the crafting stages. The forge is in the middle. The grinder, more crafting and storage all the way back here. And then again, some of the Legion ship details, which are quite cool. I thought, you know, for the pirate feel, I had a few around. But yeah, you can easily have a bunch of creatures around. I even added this hatch frame, just in case. I mean, if you're building this above the water, you might use like donkeys and stuff, and then maybe for quick unloading you could have your Ryaneth and then grab the materials and then fly back up, something like that. There we go. Let's close it back up to keep it all safe. And then of course this connects back into this little area that we started at, so it all interconnected. And we even have a small little balcony out here at the front as well to enjoy more of the views. And then we have some different areas. We can actually go down with a little staircase into the water, so that if you build it above the water like I did, you could have a little ocean pen, water pen down here for some of your water creatures to keep them safe out here. And you know, have easy access. In my case, of course, I had to go for my friends and family. And then there's also a staircase leading back up here. So this will lead you all the way up to this place. I placed a gen here so that I have everything powered. Got some cats around as well as details. So this could be a little bedroom for one of your tribe mates. You could have your own personal room right here on top of the gate with a lovely little balcony to enjoy the views of your surroundings, which is always nice, of course. And then there is, of course, way more on top of the base. But to get there, we'll leave this area. Then there's a door here to the side, which has a nice little entrance on the other side of the ship as well. So yeah, we have another little entrance here with a nice thatch roof, and then we have a staircase that goes all the way up along the side of the base. You have some big platforms here, so plenty of park spots for your flyers, and I've decorated the whole area with barrels and stuff to really get that pirate feel, but also, yeah, really to showcase that there is plenty of places where you could park flyers. So we have the Tapajara there, we've got the Pterodon here, and then we have this lovely cozy home here. I did add some of these masts around to really, you know, solidify that feeling of being a like shipwreck base. Of course, only this one is built out of normal pillars, so you could build that even on official. But I mean, if you do not have these parts, of course you could add more masts that you build yourself to get that piratey feel. We have a little home over here, so yeah, we have a cozy little first floor here with some extra storage, crafting, and a little place to make your own food, as well as the library for your blueprints and a little place to hang out. And then of course, if you go all the way upstairs, you've got some personal storage, your personal cryo, and your bedroom as well to enjoy. And we have some windows, so we have a little bit of a view to enjoy our surroundings, which is always quite nice. So again, for a little tribe with a few people, I think it will be quite nice because everyone could still have their own home but still integrated to the same base. And then for the one that I built myself, you can actually also make it all the way up with these ladders to the top so that you can easily reach the little platform up here. You could actually also definitely park some flies up here. Maybe not the fastest way to get there, but you know, you could utilize every little bit of space there is. Actually, probably just flying down might be a lot faster. But then we also have, of course, the other platform over here. So again, added these in for some extra details. We got another little nice spot to park a flyer if you wanted to. And of course, we got plenty of decor all the way around. Cannons, of course. Another flyer parked up here just to add a little bit of life. And we have another one of these little cabins up here to call, to call a place like home. And we have a little place to hang out in here. We have some storage up here as well. And then, of course, access to the bedroom here if you want to just, you know, chill out and log out safely. We got Dodo studying the treasure that has been collected. But yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of a different base. I quite like the vibe of this. If you want to go for the pirate theme, you know, live on the beaches probably and have a potential place for your ocean tames as well as for your normal tames, I think this could work quite well. I am very happy with the way it turned out. It was very different, a little bit challenging. I almost gave up halfway through, but I'm happy with the end result. I hope you like it as well. Let me know if you would like to see a full step-by-step tutorial for this build in the comments down below. And of course, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I hope to see you again in the next video or stream. For now, goodbye.